Welcome to Buzz in the Tower, a podcast dedicated to the movies of the 1980s. Our mission is to take you on a most excellent adventure through time. Buzz in the Tower is so much more than a podcast. It's the map to One-Eyed Willie's treasure. And all you have to do is sit back, listen, and repeat after me. Klaatu! Barata! Buzz in the Tower answers the questions you didn't even know you had. Like, who would win in a fight, John Rambo or Hans Gruber? Or who is dreamier, Jake Ryan or Marty McFly? So as we rank, debate, and offer fresh takes of the best from 80s cinema, please remember, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to a podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Don't forget to subscribe to Buzz in the Tower on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For bonus content, you can find us on all social media channels by searching our handle @BuzzInTheTower. For more podcasts, information, or to contact us with topics you'd like us to talk about, visit our website, buzzinthetower.com. That's BUZZN, thetower.com. Buzz in the Tower is brought to you by Verde Media. Max, I couldn't be happier with the way our website looks.
So good.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at our website yet, you need to right away. These guys, website development, online marketing, they are outstanding. Am I exaggerating at all?
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend having them build you one.
I love it. I love it. Look, they're the best of the best. And working with John, their owner, a self-admitted 80s martial arts movie nerd, was an absolute joy.
Is that why you said the best of the best?
That is why I said. Yeah. That was a tip of the hat to John. They're more than our sponsor. They're our partner. And if you are looking to build a website, they are the group to go to. Find their link on our website and check them out, Verde Media. Today's episode, congrats, it's an 80s baby, part 1. We're going to hop into the only right way to raise a child in the crazy world we live in, which is a steady dose of your favorite 80s films. I'm Mo Shapiro, and joining me as always, the Dalton to my Garrett, Max Sanders. And with that, let's hop in.
Roadhouse.
You like the Dalton to the Garrett, huh?
Just saw it for the first time.
Oh, it's a great
Throat
one.
riffs.
Yeah.
Really pretty graphic.
It's an aggressive film.
It is.
I thought you'd be bigger.
The the director's name is Rowdy. How great is that?
I didn't know that.
Rowdy Bennington.
God, you are so good at getting these little tidbits of information.
How can you not love that?
I do love that. I love today's topic. Today's topic is big. Max, listen, the world's on fire.
It is.
I mean, like every day I put either the radio on or I put the TV on, and it is just horrifically depressing. Everyone hates everyone. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
The flowers are on the table.
It's the end of days. If we survive this, it's our job. You know what? Forgot job. It's our duty to make sure that we never get to this point again. And I think the best way to frame this, it was said best by Mr. Randy Watson.
Lord, it's a gift.
He said it best. He said, "I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way."
Didn't Whitney say that?
The Whitney who said it, she actually took it from someone else as well.
Okay.
But it's out of the 80s, so I'm not going to address it. So today's podcast is our contribution to the future survival of mankind. How do you feel about that?
Let's fix some kids.
That's the plan. Today we are going to teach parents how to parent. And if that doesn't make you uncomfortable, nothing should.
Yeah. Gasoline on a fire.
No. We're not putting gas on the fire. We're helping.
We're not?
Helping.
That doesn't help?
Say help.
Hurt.
So the entire concept of today's podcast is starting at roughly, let's say, 5 years old.
Yeah, the comprehensive age.
Yeah, they're starting to soak it up, right? If we had to prescribe 2 films a year to show to a child, boy or girl, on their 5th birthday, their 6th birthday, their 7th birthday, if we did that every year, what would those 2 movies be from the 80s to help ensure that we are not back in this incredibly horrible, almost post-apocalyptic world that we're living in today?
Yeah, the best of the 80s. The moral compass of the 80s.
Exactly. Teaching your kid, congrats, you've got an 80s baby. Now what are we going to do with it?
Yeah, 9 pounds, 8 ounces of 1980.
You love it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Max, I know that this topic has a little bit of special meaning for you, as much as for me, but I know you're fun Uncle Max. I mean, you just became an uncle.
So excited.
How long was Jake born ago? How long ago?
5 months.
So yeah, you're fresh in uncle phase right now.
Yeah. New car smell, uncle.
Right. So for this particular podcast, you got to be thinking this is the only contribution I can provide because you have no idea about anything parenting right now.
I got no clue.
Are you ready to help?
Yes, I want to help. Yeah. And I'm going to do this. When he's 5 years old, he's getting 2 DVDs and like a treasure chest. And then like every year there's going to be something different. It'll be like a xenomorph egg, or it'll be the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller. You know what I mean? Like a little one.
You're going to want to hold those until they're a little bit older, probably. At
no,
least the xenomorph egg?
Well, 5 to 18. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Later.
5 to 18. Yeah, that's
I was
fair.
doing the spectrum.
All right.
Because that's what we're doing, right?
We're
raising the kid.
We're raising the 80s kid.
We're not dropping off at 15 or 16.
We're not going to be absentee fathers and uncles.
No.
We're seeing this thing through.
Yeah. Absentee uncle? Is that a thing?
If it is, I'm sure you'll be the one to discover it. That's terrible. So do you want to hop into it?
Let's do it.
All
I'm
right.
excited.
So a little bit of short background for those listening at home. Max and I, when we put together any of our podcasts, we have kind of some pre-production meetings. We talk about topics. On this one, though, until we really get into what I'll call adolescence, basically that 12 to 18 phase.
I'm so mad that there's not a psychological term for that, because you're in childhood development, and you told me that's an important time.
It's a very important.
Wait, there's no term? Make it up.
It's adolescence. Adolescence. It's 12 to 18.
Give me like a Latin term.
Adolescence.
There we go.
There you go.
That sounds Spanish, but
yeah,
all right.
well, they're all the same. They're all old languages. But the important part about this is your contribution on this has been immense, but it's different than my contribution because a lot of these movies you'd never even seen before. So I put you on the typical back-breaking schedule of making you watch. How many 80s movies have I made you watch in the last couple months?
I have watched 114 80s movies in the last 45 days.
I believe that. I don't even think that's just a joke.
It's
You're being
facts.
serious.
It's
yeah.
my letterbox. I have notes of everything. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Your commitment is amazing. It's almost more incredible that all these movies I'm asking you to watch, I've already watched dozens of times. Like, it's crazy.
How'd you do that? Did you ignore the 90s? Like, what happened?
I think Blockbuster and Video Max and I was a TV baby, right? I was like raised by the TV, single mom family. She was working her butt off, and when I would come home, I certainly wasn't doing homework. I was either playing video games or I was watching movies.
Yeah, well, it works for this podcast. So
it does.
You.
I know it works out great.
Yeah.
I can't read or write, but it works out great. All right, well, let's hop into it.
Let's do it.
First birthday.
5 years old.
Excuse me, not first birthday. Fifth birthday.
Yeah. First of the gifts.
First movie gifts.
Yeah.
To help raise this 80s babies, I am going to start off with a little gem called The Little Mermaid.
Classic.
The Little Mermaid. Some of these movies, when we're talking about the fifth birthday, the sixth birthday, the earlier age birthdays, I'm not worried about having life-changing moral lessons taught to that 80s baby. Part of this is indoctrination.
Yeah,
I want to hook them.
A Disney kid.
I want a Disney kid.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
This is what I did with my own children. This is what I would expect you to do with your nephew. You got to hook them on the things you want them to love. There are lots of wonderful Disney films, but as far as the 80s are concerned,
Not so much.
Yeah, right. So a lot of them, like Cinderella, Snow White, those are all like 50s and 60s. They're older, quite older films, right?
Yeah.
But The Little Mermaid, you have the Ariel, brave, adventurous. She faced what I would argue is one of the scariest Disney villains ever.
Ursula's scary.
Ursula's terrifying.
The purpleness of her scary.
Just everything about her, man. She's like very sneaky. She's got.
She's giant too.
Yeah. She's got tentacles. Like
Was there an electrical component to her? She could summon lightning underwater.
Well, no, only when she got the trident.
Okay.
When she got
Right.
trident. And hear me out on this. Is Ursula not the Disney version of the Predator? You disagree with that?
I mean, I've never thought of it.
I want you to think about that, right?
Okay.
You can't see her coming. She can change shape and form.
This is a stretch.
All right, it's a stretch, but she's terrifying. I think she's terrifying.
My brain broke for a second.
You did. Your full face, it looked like you stroked on me, but that was good. It was good. So, villain aside, main character aside, for a 5-year-old on their 5th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
The music, the adventure.
Are you an Under the Sea or Kiss the Girl?
Kiss the Girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Under the Sea, though, man.
Under the Sea.
Yeah.
You ride hard for Under the Sea.
Sebastian, talking crab.
Oh, he's
Party.
great. He's great, yeah.
Flounder's cool.
Flounder's cool. Especially, I don't know, I would assume they did this, but Animal House. That's what they named Flounder, was his pledge name. Dwarfman or whatever his name was, right?
That movie was in 78.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was a tip of the hat.
They took it?
Yeah, it was
Or
a tip of the
not
hat.
that it was a flounder that he was?
Well, I don't know, maybe. I guess he was a fish. Yeah, I totally blew that one. No, we're going to go with these stole it from Animal House. It's fine. You called me out so hard. I love it. All right, so
I like it. This is a good, colorful, fun.
If you show your 5-year-old
There's no
The
risk
Little Mermaid, there's no risk. And I think that this sets the stage for them being a Disney Pixar kid.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's a good first movie. The second movie we're going to drop, and I'm passionate about this one, so you just back off. I don't want to get into a fight.
I have an idea already.
Yeah, I bet you know. Because I gave you just a blank list. I didn't tell you all that I was going to use, and I didn't tell you what ages I was going to use them for, but I think you've watched most of these. I don't know if you watched this one. The Great Muppet Caper.
So are they in Manhattan or what's going on?
They're not. Wait, why do you always think they're in Manhattan?
Because they take Manhattan.
That's one of their movies. The Muppets
Did they
Take
invade?
Manhattan.
Was it like a war movie?
Terrible. So, The Great Muppet Caper, in total full disclosure, if the original Muppet movie had came out in 1980, I would have used that movie instead, but I think it came out in like 78 or 79. So The Great Muppet Caper it's actually Jim Henson's directorial debut, because the Muppet movie wasn't directed by Jim Henson. It was directed by someone else. Yeah. So this is Jim Henson's first feature film that he directed. Look, Jim Henson, if you don't have Jim Henson in your child's life, you have failed as a parent.
You love him so much.
Because everything that you and I love today, Futurama, South Park, The Simpsons.
Yeah, the two old dudes are basically the start of that.
Not even the two old dudes. No, the two old dudes were not the start of this. What's the start of this is Jim Henson created material that didn't treat children like all they could watch was Teletubbies. Like they treated children as sentient, thinking...
small adults.
Yeah. And the benefit of this was... for that dad who's sitting next to his son, or that mom who's sitting next to her daughter, and they're watching the Muppet Show, or they're watching these movies, there are all these great kind of tip of the hat jokes that only the adult gets, but then the children really enjoy the songs and everything else. So it's no different. Like there's really funny, great stuff that takes place in the Muppet Caper.
I do love Beaker. Beaker's awesome. Beaker's the silent.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously a critical part of Muppet Labs.
He's a Charlie Chaplin of his generation. All right.
Him and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, man, they're great.
I thought it was Dr. Cylinder Watermelon.
No, that's not. That's terrible. Dr. Cylinder. God, you are so dumb. All right. Anyways. So look, you got Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo, right?
And Sam the Eagle, right?
Yeah. Well, starting off, you got Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo, and they are a group of reporters and a cameraman for a newspaper. Yeah. Well, the better part is Fozzie and Kermit are supposed to be twin brothers.
I can see it.
Which I think, they got a lot in common. So they take off. They have an adventure. A baseball diamond gets stolen. A beautiful giant
diamond the size of a baseball, or
right? There you go. Right.
Got it.
It's basically it's a big diamond.
Okay.
And
it's a nice movie.
They live in the temporary staying place for them is the Happiness Hotel, and that's where they meet Dr. Teeth, the Electric Mayhem, Sam the Eagle, all their kind of friends and characters.
I like all those guys. You and your Muppets.
But for a 5-year-old, similar to why I picked The Little Mermaid, it's a fun movie. It's about friendship and songs and singing and dancing and frogs and pigs and chickens and things. It's great.
Do you learn things?
No, you don't need to learn anything.
What is Gonzo, by the way?
He's a thing.
Oh.
He's a weirdo.
Who likes pigeons?
No, pigeons, chickens.
That's similar.
Chickens.
It's really weird.
You should know this. At my wedding, the topper on my cake was Gonzo and Camilla the chicken. You should remember that.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm a bad friend.
You are a bad friend.
Moving on.
6th birthday. Wow, this is a big one for me, right? All Dogs Go to Heaven. Now, I made you watch this, and I know you weren't a huge fan of it.
I've never been more upset with you.
Come on. Hold on. Before you dive in why you don't like it, the reason I picked this movie, and we're going to talk why you don't like it, but the reason I picked this movie is the sequence, right? Using Facebook as my ultimate data aggregator. The sequence is boy meets girl, boy dates girl, boy and girl adopt a dog, boy and girl get married, boy and girl have kids. Kids get to be about 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and that dog passes away. So this is a great movie to introduce to on a 6th birthday. It gives a nice story about all dogs go to heaven, that you don't have to feel bad that, your dog passed away. And you just lost your dog 3 years ago. I lost mine a year and a half, 2 years ago. You found nothing redeeming in this?
No.
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds is terrible.
No, come on.
Charlie's a sleazy dog. And also, heaven... they're not doing their homework. Why do all dogs, even Carface at the end is in heaven, and he gets to go back down, and he's a jerk to the orphan child, Anna Marie, who is the most one-dimensional character I've ever seen in a child's movie. She's like, all I want is parents. And that's like, she's just like...
But that's sweet. And look, like it says...
It's the most child movie ever. I need some...
You're right. That's the whole point. And like it says in the movie, to answer your question, all dogs go to heaven because unlike people, dogs are naturally good and loyal and kind.
Every dog in this movie was not naturally good or loyal
You just saw a glimpse of them. You don't know what they were like before.
Charlie seemed like a jerk. Carface was not a good guy. They were gambling degenerates who ran a casino out of a car.
All right. I concede that it may not make sense to you now, but for a 6-year-old, it's a really sweet movie.
I felt cheated and betrayed by you. That
I
spent 85 minutes of my life watching.
I'm just proud that you watched it.
I'm
sad that you got nothing out of it. All right, you'll like the other one that I've got for the 6th birthday. You will. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay, Rick Moranis. I'm in.
So this movie to me is a great movie to show a 6-year-old because it's wholesome, it's clean, it's funny, and children at that age, they're in the backyard and they're finding ants and bees and caterpillars.
Did the giant ants freak you out though?
No, because I thought it was kind of sweet. Kids being scared of insects has much more to do with how their parents kind of integrate them with nature.
I'm still scared of insects.
I know, but you have so many mental health issues that I can't.
You're not a spiders freak
no,
out?
No, nothing scares me, dude. I'm the toughest guy you know.
That's not true.
That's not true at all. I'm scared of everything, like my shadow.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, your exposure to these things at that age, so that there's this period of time where like a kid would literally pick up scorpion and not think much of it. So to show them all this, and I just thought the whole movie, the concept behind the movie was great. This nerdy dad trying to prove his, theory. It's just a clean, wholesome, fun movie. And by the way, a little breaking news. Did you hear that Rick Moranis is almost signed and ready to re-engage with the Honey, I Shrunk My Kids, the series?
No way, really?
Yeah, I think they're doing a new, it's called Shrunk. And I think he's going to be on board to be in it.
Does he look the same? I hope he looks the same.
I just saw him in that commercial. I
hated that commercial.
I didn't like the commercial either. What's his Ryan Reynolds? Yeah. And then did you hear the poor guy? Because you know why he left Hollywood, right?
His wife had cancer.
Yeah,
right?
he took care of his kids. His wife passed away. You can't. Rick Moranis is one of the rare people in Hollywood that I challenge you to find a reason why you don't like him.
Well, it's better to burn out than fade away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's Kurt Cobain, Tupac, Rick Moranis.
Wow, Rick Moranis is coming back, and he's going to give us a lot of good stuff.
He was awesome.
Oh, he was great.
And also Parenthood, pretty good.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll talk about Parenthood later. That's a great movie. Yeah, and also My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin, which I don't think you've ever seen.
Nope.
So very different role for him, but he was good in it too. You need to see that.
Good name.
Right?
And also, one last thing about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I dreamed about eating a giant Cheerio all the time and swimming in milk. I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's... did you really dream about that? Or you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome.
It's a little bit of a weird dream.
I don't know. It's cool.
Hey, that's all right.
It's dreams.
That's all right. It's a dream. You can't control it. No. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. 6th birthday covered. Let's go to lucky number 7. 7th birthday.
7. Driving a car.
Let's start off with a little bit of Harry and the Hendersons.
Haven't seen it. I do know Kevin Peter Hall played the giant Sasquatch, who also played Predator.
You love Kevin Peter Hall.
7'2".
You can talk about him all day.
2 Predator references before 7.
There you go. So John Lithgow.
Love John Lithgow.
Right? So, let's talk about him. And I don't want to go too deep into his biography because right now we're not doing that, but I happen to really love him. So, Third Rock from the Sun. Did you ever get into that?
Fantastic.
It's a great show.
Yeah. He's so goofy.
He is so goofy. And then going back further than that, the Preacher in Footloose.
We'll get into that.
We'll talk about that. The
Cliffhanger
villain. Ricochet, which I don't think you've seen, with Denzel Washington. Yeah, he was in that. And then
Trinity Killer
in Dexter. I loved him in Dexter.
Biggest shock ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great. Yeah. He was great. Harry and the Hendersons, fun family movie. Takes place in Seattle, just your standard, mom, dad, big sister, little brother, and they run into Sasquatch, and Sasquatch ends up living with them. And it starts off, it's your
friendly, like toddler Sasquatch or what?
Yeah, like vegetarian Sasquatch. Like terrifying at first because you don't know what you've just found, but then they very quickly learn that this is just this lovable, misunderstood giant. And there's,
I know how that goes.
I know, yeah. You should love this. What are you? You're 6'8", 6'9",
6'5".
Yeah, whatever. And you smell like garbage. So, I mean, you're basically
I smell
Sasquatch.
Great.
You do smell nice today.
Yeah. In general.
Today you do. I'll give you today. You got today.
I make sure there's deodorant in my car. I even reapply before I come in.
All right. Well, I'm just telling you, you smell good today.
Not Sasquatch.
You're not Sasquatch. But if you were Sasquatch, you would understand.
Did they give him a name? Or is he Harry?
Harry.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
sense.
sense.
Was his name. He's Harry,
yeah.
But it's a really, really sweet movie. And it's, again, we're talking about this kind of 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old child. There doesn't need to be a huge lesson, although there's some nice lessons in this about nature and, kind of leaving things and don't judge a book by its cover.
Have your kids seen it yet? Or?
Yeah, they love Harry and the Hendersons.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw this in the theater. I remember seeing it when I was a kid in the theater.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was fun. All right, this one, I'm going to try to talk about it without crying. So just bear with me.
You cried during All Dogs Go to Heaven.
It's a beautiful, look, you can't keep a good dog down.
You can.
No, you
All right,
can't.
yeah.
You're terrible.
Stupid clocks.
You're a terrible human being. Max, An American Tail. Have you watched this yet? I gave it to you on the list. Have you had a chance?
You burned me so bad on the animated, I couldn't do more.
This is such a beautiful movie. All right. So Russian Jewish mouse family, Mouskowitz. Spielberg gets together with Bluth, and we're going to talk about Bluth later because he's did another one of the movies that I gave to you.
He did All Dogs too.
Yeah, he's got a whole host of movies that he did. I mean, he's amazing. So, American Tail, immigrant family.
Right.
The movie starts off, they're basically celebrating Hanukkah.
Nice.
And then
8 days.
Yeah, right. And then there's
what day are they on?
I can't answer that question. I remember a lot of these movies, that type of stuff. I don't remember. They're pushed from their home. They flee to America. This is one of the most pro-American cartoons ever without being obnoxious. The whole movie is about the dream and the beauty of, like Fievel's the little 5-year-old not baby mouse, the little 5-year-old mouse.
Got it.
And his father talks about, in America, there are no cats. In America, your dreams can come true. It's just, so they get there.
Are the cats Nazis?
No, well, they kind of portray him as being that way, although they end up being friends with a cat voiced by Dom DeLuise, because Bluth loves using Dom DeLuise in all of his movies.
Movie sounds wild.
Yeah. So they get to America, they get separated. This whole film is like gut-wrenchingly sad. Fievel's like on his own. This little 5-year-old's on his own. And man, the end of this movie, I'm telling you, man, if you ever need a good cathartic cry, the end of this movie, there's a scene earlier in the movie, he's with, I think, a pigeon, and the pigeon sings him this song about teaching him to never say never. Right?
You've gotten soft in your old
age. No. This is not old age. I've been this soft my whole life, and there's nothing wrong with being soft. I'll hold on to this until the day I die. But there's a song called like Never Say Never. In the end of this movie, his whole family is riding this cat, yelling, "Fievel, where are you?" And they find him. Okay. And his dad and him embrace. And his dad, I'm not even going to do the accent, but it's just like,
do it.
Fievel, we never thought we were going to. No, he's not Italian. It's terrible. I'm not going to do the accent. You're going to make me butcher it. But they find him and he said, "Fievel, I never thought we would find you." And Fievel looks up and says, "Never say never, Papa." It's the most beautiful movie ever.
I'm not gonna see this.
You have no heart. You're a cold man.
You're making these kids weak. This is the apocalypse.
No,
they
listen. This is classic like Stallone, Schwarzenegger, 1980s Max. 2020 Max. I want you to open your heart. Expand
the world's
your
exploding,
mind.
man.
That's why we got to have more empathy.
Clockwork Orange these kids.
No,
do it. Eyeballs open.
Clockwork Orange these kids. That's good. Good shot, Steven.
So you just, I don't know what to do.
That's my new go-to. Oh, that's good. So, An American Tail is a beautiful movie, and you need to watch it. And that is the gift that we're gonna raise that
for the Jewishness all out.
Yeah, right. There's not a ton of really good Jewish, movies, films, cartoons,
people.
anything.
Like, whoa.
Well, there's lots of good people. So that's An American Tail. Let's go 8th birthday.
Okay.
Now you're gonna just continue to make fun of me because I'm going from emotional movie to emotional movie.
Softy.
I am soft.
Mo.
Yes, Max.
Gotta use the bathroom.
What do you mean you got to use the bathroom?
I gotta go.
I told you to go before we started recording.
I did go.
You have to go again?
I have to go again. It's bad to hold it. Kidneys.
Yeah. Before you go, we're definitely doing our sponsor ads.
Fine.
Okay.
Let's get a...
You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Buzz in the Tower is brought to you by Capsiva Pain Relieving Gel. And I can tell you that if you're sitting at a table across from a guy who has to go to the bathroom every 25 minutes, you're going to get arthritis, you're going to get muscle soreness, psoriasis. Capsiva is all natural. It's okay. Capsiva is all natural and designed to increase blood flow for the healing and pain relief process. Try it for free at capsiva.com. That's CAPSIVA.com. And Max, I'm an old man and I need this kind of stuff. It works. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's like Wilford Brimley in Cocoon. You know what I mean? You feel revitalized.
That's exactly what it's like. Buzz in the Tower is also brought to you by Lindsay Larrabee Photography. If you have checked out our website, hopefully you have. You've seen the amazing photos that were put up there. Lindsay,
so good.
Yeah, Lindsay and her team did all of those.
She teased my hair.
She was fun to work with. Just made the whole experience really exciting for us. She has been taking photos of families, children, and smiles in Metro Detroit since 2017. She loves what she does, and it shows. She works with her clients, catches everything in the moment, and adores watching the connections and relationships unfold in front of her lens. If you mention Buzz in the Tower, you get $25 off any family session in 2021. You can find Lindsay on our website under our sponsors page. Check her up and get some work done. She is fantastic.
Yeah, she made us look good. She can make anyone look good.
Fox and the Hound.
Kurt Russell and Mickey Rooney, right? That's what I got.
You got it.
What? Why are you looking at it?
I'm just looking at you waiting. I'm waiting to hear what did you think about this movie?
I watched 5 minutes of it and I was so upset that you made me watch All Dogs Go to Heaven. I couldn't do it.
Max,
I am watching 4 movies a day.
All right. It's fair. It's fair. Are you watching a movie right now? What are you like watching? Like,
I'm watching
Weekend
Better
at
Off
Bernie's?
Dead.
Better
okay?
Off Dead.
Yeah. I watched Rocky 3, The Right Stuff, and Roadhouse yesterday. Okay. I can't fill things with like these sappy animated movies.
Orphan fox adopted by a kind farmer.
Just gonna ignore me.
Not even gonna ignore you. Names him Todd. Meanwhile, the neighbor who's a hunter gets a hound puppy named Copper. And Cooper. I'm sorry. No, it's Copper.
Oh.
Is it Cooper or Copper?
I have Cooper written. Oh, you're right. It's Copper.
It's Copper.
Shoot.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sorry.
Jeez.
I haven't even seen the movie.
You're lying to me. Do you even watch the first 5 minutes?
It's Cooper.
Unreal. So here's my favorite part, right? They're little pups playing with each other. And
what's a fox pup?
I don't know.
A
fup?
Sounds
or a pox?
Yeah, sure. A pox on your house.
Little Todd looks at Copper and says, Copper, you're my best friend. And little Copper looks at Todd and says, and you're mine too, Todd. And little Todd says, and we'll be best friends forever, won't we? And Copper says, yeah, forever.
Melt my heart with a
So they grow up obviously in an impossible situation, and I like this movie especially.
Is it socioeconomic issues or what's it?
No, I think more like foxes are they create problems and hound dogs are supposed to hunt them. So it's okay.
Interesting.
You're learning. But for an 8-year-old, you start to develop your first friendships, and I think that in planting the seed. Now this is where the movies are going to start. I'm going to start kind of massaging that brain, that frontal lobe a little bit.
Amygdala. Get that
there
limbic
you go,
system
right?
going.
Absolutely. This is where we start kind of letting that kid see the value of friendship and that little spark they had, right? Because think about when you were real little, you probably had that one friend you had in kindergarten or first grade that you were just friends with for a couple of years and then you don't see him forever. But who knows? One day down the road, a bear might be attacking you and they may save your life, just like in this movie.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
To you?
No, that happened in this movie.
Wow.
That you didn't see because you lied to me because you're a horrible human being.
Less exciting.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on. Here, this one you'll be excited about. All right.
We'll see.
So I know you're going to be excited about this one because I know you like this movie. 8th Birthday, Fox and the Hound. The other one I'm sliding in there, Back to the Future.
Okay.
Are you okay now?
Mo, it's your kids.
Not Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 1.
At the end of Back to the Future, they say that. It's not you, it's your kids, Marty. When he comes back and then they fly.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's the very end
Shame
of the movie.
on me.
To be continued.
Shame on me. Oh man.
Let's talk.
Today.
Doc Brown, Marty McFly.
The funny thing about this movie is that
Everything's hilarious.
It's a great movie. So I have used this movie to butterfly effect scare my children. So I tell them all the time, you better be careful about the decisions you make.
Or Doc Brown's going to get you.
Well, yeah, Doc Brown, this is a classic example of how I can appreciate this movie. But if my son came home from school and was like, hey, Dad, I got to get going. I'm going to hang out with that 55-year-old white-haired crazy scientist again. I'm going to meet him at the mall at 2 a.m. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, something about terrorists and
80
plutonium.
miles an hour,
yeah. He retrofitted a DeLorean. It's good. I'd be like, no, it doesn't sound like an okay thing.
His parents had their own issues.
They did. They were dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
Until they
being
fixed
Crispin
it.
Glover is dealing with a lot.
Crispin Glover is a nod, dude.
We could have a podcast all about him.
We could. He is not a garden variety normal human being. But Back to the Future, I mean, I don't even think, is there any swearing in that movie? It's a pretty clean movie, right?
Biff, maybe it was some get your damn hands.
Oh, no,
on
not
me.
Biff. George. George says it to Biff.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, you're right. He's like, get your damn hands off
swearing,
her. That's it, yeah. Which is clean.
Malt chops and, poodle skirts
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a clean movie. It's a fun movie. And
where your mother hits on you.
Well, we don't talk about that part on the 8th birthday. We just let that slide. But it's a great, fun movie to show. It starts planning, first of all, going back to what we were saying before about indoctrinating our children. I want them hooked on Spielberg and I want them hooked on Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Add Disney and Jim Henson, and if they get just those 4, I'm good.
Now, do you need roads to see this movie?
No, where we're going, we don't need roads, buddy. There you
go. Had to say it.
All right, 9th birthday.
They're getting old.
Yeah,
fast.
I know.
They grow
Time
so
flies.
quickly.
They grow so quick. Time flies. But I think so far we've done a really good job parenting this kid so far.
I think they're morally upstanding. Are they cool yet? Have you made them cool?
See, here's the thing. If I had a choice between the two, I would say that they're one and the same.
Ugh, you PSA announcer.
No, I'm still, because think about it.
The more you know.
What's cooler than being a good human being?
Being James Dean with a 1950s Pontiac and greased up hair and leather jacket.
I disagree.
Cigarettes in your white shirt, outside.
rolled up on the sleeve.
Style.
There you go. Pony boy.
Why did that go? Why did that go out of style? That's a good look.
Stay golden, Max.
I
Stay
will.
golden. I do think that one of the nice things about some of these movies that we're going to talk about, it happens more when we get into the adolescent movies, but I really tried to pick movies that had heroes that were very much heroes, not because they were cool, right? The anti-hero, the goofball, the dork, the guy fish out of water.
Okay, all right.
Because like, there's only so many people that can be cool. Everybody else is just who they are. And look at us.
That's a loser mentality.
No, you and I are the biggest dorks in the world. And
I know, and I wish I could do it all over
No,
again.
I know. You're terrible. I wish more than anything else that I was comfortable enough in my teens and 20s to be as much of a dork as I am right now instead of hiding from it. I love it. I've never been happier.
No, I would have done prison style. Take on the biggest kid when I was like 7.
You know, have you ever had therapy?
Yeah, a lot of therapy. I've had 8 therapists.
8 therapists.
And I've been in therapy since I was 5.
What is your most jarring scenario that you had with your therapist?
So it kind of fits in with this a little
With
bit.
what? With Back to the Future?
No, with telling movies, giving movies to kids.
Oh, let me sit back and listen. I'm excited.
So, okay, story time.
I shouldn't be this excited about your emotional pain, but
This
I
is
am.
a Max Sanders sidebar, okay? So, I was 8 years old. I was scared of everything. Like spiders, the dark, the color purple, kids around me.
You were really scared of the color purple?
I was. I think it was Ursula, actually. Seriously. Freaked me out. It's a dark
You mean
menacing
Disney
color.
Predator? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
You're ruining my childhood again. But so they thought it was a good idea that at 8 years old I should watch something scary so I kind of could get acclimated to it. So they made me watch Terminator 2.
Wait, hold on. I feel like I'm missing something. Your therapist, when you were 8 years old,
Yes.
had you watch Terminator 2.
That's correct.
Terminator 2. Like
Yeah.
not like
T-1000, Sarah Connor's burning on a chain link fence, Terminator 2. So scary.
I mean, that's horrifying.
I lost my mind.
How did you sleep?
I didn't sleep for about a week. We fired the therapist. I moved on to the next one. the week
Clearly.
after. Yeah.
Who is this therapist?
I don't know.
Can we get them on the show? I want to interview this
Dr.
therapist.
Cylinder Lemon Bar.
Oh, man. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
It messed me up pretty badly.
All right, well, this explains why you hate all these tender, beautiful movies, because you were 8 years old watching T2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Now you're Rain Man? Definitely messed up.
Definitely Terminator.
Oh, my God, Max. All right, well, rolling into the 9th birthday, I don't have Terminator 2 on any of my lists, so I think we're okay.
10th birthday for me.
10th, there you go. Rolling into the 9th birthday, Never Ending Story.
Great movie. You made me
Never-ending
watch
story.
this.
Yeah, and I was so happy when you watched this. I knew you would love this movie.
One of the child movies I actually enjoyed.
Fantasia is being devoured by the Nothing.
Yeah, it is.
It's terrifying.
Nothing is terrifying. Is it death? Is that what it is?
So I always took it as that Fantasia was our imagination, and the Nothing
Is if you do nothing
was
with your life?
was the lack of imagination.
Oh.
So when as people stop believing and stop having
Peter Pan syndrome.
yeah, remember when this movie
Can't
took
fly.
when this movie took place? You know the lead in this. What's the kid's name? I can't think of the kid's name right now.
It's a weird name.
It's Bastion.
Yeah.
Is it Bastion?
There it is.
So Bastion is a throwback kid. He wants to go into an old bookstore and read books. You know, he's living with his widowed father, which is like, you know, very Spielbergian. I'm surprised he wasn't involved. You know?
Was he involved or no?
I don't think so. I don't think Spielberg had anything to do with this, but he classically always has like some
Sure,
destruction of the home.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's something wrong, divorce, death. And he, you know, he's being bullied. He's just a tortured soul, awkward, you know, feels out of place. And he finds this bookstore and he finds this book.
Yeah,
and when he starts reading that book, man,
The golden snake's on it.
oh my God. I mean, he meets everyone, right?
Rock monsters.
Atreyu.
By the way, Atreyu is the name of a metal band that I've loved forever.
Really?
And now I know.
Now
that
you know where it came
and
from.
It's awesome.
That's
what a great
so
name.
funny. That's so funny.
Good name, Atreyu.
There's so many. This is where again we get to 9 years old and we start really talking about life lessons for a child.
Horse death.
Right. Well,
So sad.
Artax. I mean, tell me how many people do you know that can watch that scene and not cry? I mean, that's a brutal.
I don't cry.
I know you're the. Maybe this is where I need to bring in like a normal person who didn't watch T2 when they were 8 years old, but whatever.
Sarah Connors gets me though. I tear up every
I know
time.
every time you see Sarah Connor, you're
Her
like,
with a Gatling gun really gets me going.
Arnold. Anything with Arnold, you get tear up. You know.
Yep. I'm broken.
The scene where he loses his horse, and think about it, the horse dies in the swamp of sadness.
Yeah, he has to believe that he has to get out. He can't get
And he
him
can't
out.
do it. Yeah, he can't do it. So he takes his own ownership for it. I just, there's so much about this movie that's beautiful.
It's believe in yourself and you can beat the bullies.
Right. And even when like the princess, the young princess, whatever her name is, everything goes dark and she's got the one grain of sand and she says, if you could make one wish, what would the wish be? And he says, I don't know. And she says, But if you don't know, then there's no hope. The whole point is, like, if you don't have the imagination, then everything's. And then when he makes his wish, it's to what's the dragon's name?
Falcor.
Falcor. My
Yeah,
God. That's his one wish, and then he swoops in to get the bullies. And this is for a 9-year-old. This is everything.
Game of Thrones stole Falcor. That's how you like. That's the dragon flying.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Khaleesi looks like Bastion on Falcor.
This is false.
I'm telling you, watch them side by side.
All right, well, I will do that. Max, the second movie for the 9th birthday.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
I want you to tell me that you love me.
Why do you want me to do that?
Can you just trust me?
I don't trust you very much.
Tell me you love me.
Mo, I love you.
I know.
Oh!
Empire Strikes Back.
Han Solo in the house.
Han Solo. So, to be fair, I would pick Star Wars, but Star Wars was made in
78.
78, yeah. So, by our rules of raising that 80s baby, but I assume that the kid was seeing it, yeah. 9 years old, perfect age. Empire Strikes Back. Arguably the best of all of them anyways, so I'm fine with the kid watching this one first, even if I had to. So many great stuff, so many great things going on. Introduction of Yoda.
Is this the introduction of Yoda?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Yoda's not in the first one. This is because they go to the Dagobah. Right? Yeah, they go. Skywalker goes to the Dagobah system after he has the hallucination in the snow cave. When he's on
the Tauntaun.
Yeah. He had to cut the Tauntaun open.
That's a boy becoming a man moment.
Right. When you first see your first Tauntaun cut open.
He's 9, right? Who's watching this?
The 9-year-old. Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I like that.
But it's exciting. It's adventure. It's, the big lesson here is
don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anyone because your enemy could be your
Lando.
father. I know. No, but I mean, like, really, it's believe in yourself. It's, the commitment that Luke Skywalker has to his friends. He leaves the training early.
Don't hit on your sister.
Don't hit on your sister for sure is a good one. Hopefully you don't have to have that lesson with anyone. But the whole movie is it's fun adventure. And again, it is a little dark, but this goes back to what I was saying before about sometimes these movies that I'm selecting. Yes, there's a moral lesson, but it's also, what do I want to hook my kid on? Because God forbid, if I'm raising an 80s baby and they get a hold of Star Trek before
awesome.
they get a hold of Star Wars.
Vulcan logic.
Nope. You got to be
Patrick
Star Wars.
Stewart. His head's so shiny.
First, you're not even referencing 80s
Just
Star Trek right now. Yeah, because
William
you're talking.
Shatner.
Okay, he spans every decade.
Right?
I am much more of a Star Wars, so I want Star Wars. That's what I want.
Trekkie right here.
And that covers the 9th birthday. Are we ready to go to the 10th birthday?
Let's do it. This is a big one, right?
This is a big one.
What do you call this? The decade mark?
Well, so this for my kids at least. I assume even when I think back to when I was a kid, like when you go from single digits to double digits, you feel like you're a grown up. You're like, I'm in the double digits now, right? I'm a 10-year-old. So we're gonna start off. Silly. We're gonna start off with just one of my favorites. Max, for the 10th birthday, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say, Mo, give me the movie.
This is getting weirder and weirder.
I know. Weird's good, but I want you to say, Mo, give me the movie.
Mo, give me the movie.
As you wish.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, it took you a minute. You got it. I knew you would get it.
Took me a beat.
What 10-year-old is not going to love this movie? What child any age or adult any age is not going to love this movie?
You're Fred Savage in this movie.
Yeah.
You're just in bed. Grandpa's telling you a story.
Yeah.
Grandpa William Goldberg.
And at 10 years old...
And Goldman, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
At 10, 11 years old, like, men and women kissing, love stories grosses you out. It grosses you out. So like when Fred Savage's character didn't want to hear the kissing scene.
No more kissing.
Yeah, that's this age, right?
Yeah.
Look, Max, Princess Bride, all of the life lessons. I mean, what?
Everything.
You know them. What's
Life is pain.
Life is pain.
Anyone saying otherwise is just selling things.
Yeah.
That's great. That's like you should get that tattooed on your chest.
How about we learn in this movie that there's all different types of being dead?
Oh yeah, he's only kind of dead.
Not mostly dead.
Yeah. Don't get in a land war in China.
That's a great lesson for today's world.
It saved me on my 12th and 13th birthday.
There you go. We learn that life decisions have consequences.
They do.
If you go around murdering people, you are likely to reap the punishment of the son that avenges his father and knocks on your door one day to say, hello, my name is Enria Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
I'm not sure that you understand what that word means.
By the way, when he fights all three of them with like the brain, the sword, and the brawn, is that not the best like 3 fights in a row of any movie ever?
Yeah, it's great.
Because it just shows you got to be versatile.
Yeah. And that's the whole point is like the development of this for a child to watch. It's not the strongest guy. It's just common. And then friendship. He's forging these friendships.
This movie has everything.
It's great.
We could make a whole podcast just talking about the life lessons.
We sure could.
Oh, man. Buttercup, too. Prettiest princess of all time.
Right.
Young Robin Wright.
Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah. And so and then, I mean.
Andre.
And then the priest who does marriage.
That's Billy Crystal.
No.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I swear to God.
It's not.
I swear.
It's not. I refuse to accept that.
Okay.
We're taking a commercial break to check it up right now. You're wrong on this one.
Right,
commercial break now. Thank you for waiting on that commercial break. Max, any update on what you were trying to say?
He's in this movie, like I said.
I didn't ask if he wasn't in the movie. I said you made the claim that he was the priest that said marriage. Is he that person?
Maybe.
Is he that person?
No.
But he is Miracle Max.
Yeah, he's my guy.
He's your namesake, and you didn't even remember.
He's kind of dead.
A nice mutton, lettuce, tomato.
This movie has everything.
No. He said to blave, and everybody knows to blave means to bluff. He's obviously a gambler, and he owes money. Like, yeah, how could you forget that that's Billy Crystal's
You're pretty good
role?
on quotes in this movie.
On Princess Bride.
Can you go back to back, like cover to cover?
No, I'm good at like pieces of it because I love the movie, but I quotes. The thing with me in quotes is I'm usually good enough to remember the bulk of it, but don't ever count on me for exact words. I kind of make up my own words on most of my quotes.
Improv on your feet.
Yeah, absolutely. But so I told you, Max, the 10th birthday is a big birthday,
decade mark,
huge. So I gave you the Princess Bride, and I had to pair that with something delicious as well.
Delicious? Are you gonna eat this movie?
We're gonna just stuff our face with it. Max,
weird analogy.
It's a great analogy because it's delicious. This movie's delicious. The Goonies.
Okay, I've warmed up.
Listen. I don't even want to hear what you're doing right now. You know what
the truffle shuffle?
No, because right now what you're doing is like I feel like you feel the daggers coming from my eyes that you don't love this movie more. So you're like, oh, okay, it's okay. You sound like Travolta. Oh, geez, it's okay.
Travolta's awesome. He's on his own plane. Scientology.
Max, I'm okay with you not liking the Goonies. I just have to move past it. But the reason that I put this in here is the whole movie is everything that a 10-year-old wants to see. So as we go through these movies, part of the reason you'll see this more and more. I pick the movies a year before they'll have stronger relevance.
Do they want to see Sloth at that age?
Well, that's what I want the kid to see the movie, and then throughout that year up to the next year is where it becomes relevant. So like, for instance, when you turn 16, I'm not going to say License to Drive as a movie. I might do that at 15 if I pick that movie because I want it to be there before you get to the actual birthday. Does that make sense?
So you want your kids chasing bank robbers?
Yes.
On bikes?
Yes, because the whole premise of this movie is not about chasing bank robbers. The whole premise of this movie, no, it's not. That's a
One-Eye Willie's like a ancillary part. They didn't mean to
they
did actually.
The whole point of this movie is that first, let me say this: the relationship between Thanos,
Josh Brolin,
Bran and his brother is the most beautiful sibling relationship of any 80s film.
Thanos,
yeah, I couldn't think of his name, but like their relationship with each other is so sweet, right? Like he's like the best older brother.
He's a solid older brother.
The heart behind this movie is you have a bunch of children that are trying to fix adult problems, but
their time.
Yeah, and it's their time down there.
Up here.
Down here, it's our time. Our time down here. Goonies never say die, Max.
Yeah, they don't.
That's what I want this 80s baby that we're raising to learn.
Did they face death in this movie?
Sure. They had to walk the plank. They had their hands tied. They would drown.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. And in the director's cut, there was a giant octopus that tried to kill them, but they just never made it to the final cut.
I don't want to see that.
At the very end of the movie, when they're all on the shore and they're telling the story of all the crazy things that happened, you'll hear one of the kids say, "Oh my gosh!" And there was this giant octopus, and like,
oh, you could have thought that was Chunk making it up, though.
Right, but in fact, it actually took place. They just cut it from the final.
I love Chunk.
Chunk's great.
Yeah. What happened to Chunk?
I don't know, but the whole movie's great. Goonies, Princess Bride, best way to celebrate your 10th birthday. Moving into the 11th birthday.
Okay.
I know you like this first one. E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Are we sure it's good? Do we have
define your question?
Do we have E.T. discussions with friends or like quote it at all? Have I seen it in 20 years? Like it's fun. I guess when you're 11, it's great.
I think so.
Bikes, kids, adventure. That's the Stranger Things effect.
So I think E.T. is a good example of a movie that it's not a quotable adventure movie.
It's frozen in time.
Yeah, and because it's not a quotable adventure movie, it's not the one where you and I are quoting like Princess Bride or Goonies.
No, I try my Reese's Pieces line a lot. It's creepy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
But it's a really, really, it's a really beautiful movie. It tackles divorce.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg's take on what could distract a kid from a divorce of his parents.
Right. And there's this kind of theme of like healing, right? So like Elliot is taking care of E.T. and is almost like a father to E.T., right? He's his caregiver, but E.T. in the same token is taking care of Elliot. And this healing process that's going on, absent of this male figure in his life, right? It's just kind of a beautiful story. And I like it. I like it for the 11th birthday because Spielberg has this great way of evoking the imagination of the child that's watching it. So like,
What was his child look?
I know, it must have been incredible, right?
Or really bad.
I know it was probably fun. He probably had like a very exciting, like adventurous childhood, but
I don't know. Those people who have the rough ones usually make up the stuff that's incredible.
maybe that'd be worth digging into. I'd be curious to know.
I've seen his documentary and I don't remember this at all.
Well, then it probably wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But for E.T., the way that they address the story, the way that I want that 11-year-old to see this, and I want them to know there could be aliens. I want them to believe in these things.
Okay,
it's
like
fun,
Santa
exciting
Claus,
stuff.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Like
Have you told your
mystery.
kids Santa Claus?
Don't even talk about that. It's a rough subject in my house. But as of right now, I believe that 2 out of my 3 children still believe in Santa Claus.
I never believed.
Well, you're Jewish, which is part of the reason.
Hanukkah Harry in the Hanukkah bush. That's what we did. A little less believable.
Another, the second film for the 11th birthday, touched by Spielberg as well, because I believe Spielberg worked on this, Secret of Nim.
Love this.
Yeah, so this is one that you'd never seen, and I asked you to, and you said you'd seen it on a bunch of other lists that were recommending seeing it. What are your thoughts on it before I hop in?
So, super adult, super weird, creepy, like scariest animation. I remember like Nicodemus, the magical rat in that movie.
Yeah.
His hands freaked me out.
Yeah.
Like he just had these old weathered hands.
Beautiful animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very old. It felt like Fantasia.
So this was Bluth again, who did American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Land Before Time, which I almost put on.
Is that an 80s one?
Yeah, so I almost put that on one of these lists. Do you know that's the dinosaur one, right? Yeah. That's a real sad one, too, where he loses his mom to extinction. And
I mean, I think we're establishing in all Disney movies someone loses a parent.
that's rough. Well, this
Yeah.
isn't Disney, though.
It's not?
No, this is not Disney.
Oh, it feels Disney.
No, this is Spielberg and Bluth. This isn't Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any of the ones I just listed were Disney.
Fox and the Hound?
Fox and the Hound might
Little
be
Mermaid.
Disney. Little Mermaid was.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid was.
That's super Disney.
So Secret of Nim, the reason I picked this is because all of the reasons you just said. It's important to have a mix of darkness, right? I like that this 11-year-old is not just seeing the sweet sugar candy,
the great,
Care Bear movies.
The Great Owl was freaky.
Yeah.
Scariest, you didn't prepare me for the animated spider.
Pretty awesome.
I didn't know. I didn't like it.
That was pretty. Oh, you're scared of spiders.
Yeah.
At least there wasn't an animated Sarah Connor in this movie.
Yet.
So,
Dragon the Cat was cool too.
and the big moral kind of lesson they're starting to learn in this is that with education comes responsibility. With intelligence comes
Peter
responsibility.
Parkering it, yeah.
A little bit. So all of these mice and rats that were experimented on and now have
Superpowers.
Yeah, basically. And they have, but more important even than their powers, they have intellectual consciousness.
Yeah.
And what they have with that is now they're saying, well, no, we shouldn't steal from the farmer. We should create our own power source and be self-sufficient. And it's kind of nice, right? Like 11, 12 years old, you're starting to like learn how to be self-sufficient. You're smart enough to know better.
Yeah,
And
this is like the PG version of Game of Thrones. It prepares them for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great way of explaining it. That's a great way of explaining Secret of Nim, PG version of Game of Thrones. I
Yeah,
like that.
political maneuvering and all with like Jenner is his name.
Yeah,
And,
and
Nicodemus.
Mrs. Brisby is and
Love
also,
Mrs. Brisby.
well, she was great, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's willing to sacrifice anything to save her kids.
Yeah.
She's basically a single mom. Not her fault that her husband passed away, but it's
Oh, you know what's really cool too? One of the kids is voiced by Will Wheaton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Dom DeLuise, he plays the Crow. Every Bluth movie, I think Dom DeLuise is in.
The Crow was a little
sort of-
much.
I like the Crow.
When he gets caught up in the string, I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Humorous.
Okay, 11th
movie.
done.
Really good choice.
Well, Max, we rounded the corner. We got through the delicate developmental years, and we are on the precipice of adolescence.
We did it.
12 to 18 is on the horizon, and those years are brutal.
Can't we just drop them at the orphanage at this point?
No.
The fire station?
No,
you're a firefighter.
That's
Can you take
terrible.
them?
That's absolutely terrible. You would even suggest doing that is awful. Part 1 is concluded. Part 2, which we'll be picking up next week, we will finish out this child rearing, right?
What?
Next week, we'll finish it out. We'll get 12 to 18, and part 2 will be our conclusion.
Yeah, no rearing, just raising.
No rearing, just raising. Thank you for joining us.
Sounds like a bumper sticker.
Follow us, like us, rate us, star us.
Rear us.
Oh, man. At Buzz in the Tower on social media.
Buzz.
Buzz. Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Like us, love us. Give us the attention we so desperately need.
Love us.
We're raising your child. The least you can do is help us out.
Yeah, Yelp review.
All right. And tune in next week for part 2. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.